Fall down to the virtual ring of death. It's time to prove yourself on screen. Prepare your mind, begin your steps. Your chance to make it in the scene. Round one, let the battle of fists begin. Mind games, a vital weapon to fear. Dark magic skill, teleported powers. They acrobat and shoot out a dread. Claim victory with sorcery. The sequential of intention live and breathe. You must never lie, the cybernetic die. It's searching for the sudden neuropath. The night is here, they will be released. The power of the followers is the game. You try to zone, they will break your bones. There's nothing to lose, there's bound to scream. Round two, you are fighting to be the best. Your second chance to prove yourself to the rest. Projectiles and combos dominating on screen. Never enough to defeat the king. Claim victory with sorcery. The sequential of intention live and fear. You must never lie, the cybernetic night is searching for the sudden neuroblast. The night is here, they will be released. The power of the followers is the game. You try to zone, they will break your bones. There's nothing to lose, there's bound to scream.
It's no longer just a fight. It's about reputation and pride. You must do your best. Back up your words, or you will be obliged.
Fight around the top to decide your fate. Your chance to shine has now come to an end. You were once a threat, you were once a victor. Brace yourself for a fatality. Claim victory with sorcery. The sequential of intention live and fear. You must never lie, the cybernetic god is searching for the sudden neuroblast. The night is here, they will be released. The power of the followers is the game. You try to zone, they will break your bones. There's nothing to lose, there's bound to scream. There's bound to scream.
Yo, what up, everybody? What up, natives?
What up, what up?
Not much. Feeling a little bit better today. Wow, I got a little bit of an echo. I think it's you. You're echoing.
I can't be echoing.
Why can't you be echoing?
Because I'm on the Xbox. There's no sound coming from anywhere besides my ear.
I hear me on your end. But it's not bad. So I'm not going to cry about it.
Hey, try again. I'm going to mute. Go ahead.
You know, because Xbox sucks. Xbox One is garbage. You know that. Now it's better.
Now it's better, you said?
Yep, it was. Now it's not.
Hold
Therefore,
on.
it's your setup. It's a fucking piece of crap Xbox, man. What do you want? Testicle 1, 2, 3, 4. Back again. Put it aside. Ignore it. Ignore it. It's not bad. So anyway, I'm off of my T virus for now. Yes, Shugando, we're doing an OBS on Wednesday because I didn't do yesterday because I was a little fucked up. But obviously we got Winterbrawl coming up. So, OBS is officially a sponsor of Winterbrawl. So we got money into the pot for Injustice.
Are we actually going to see our logo up over there?
Yes, we are.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
But...
James, I'll be back in 1 sec, all right?
All right, man. Mute your mic then. All right, good. Anyway, guys, a lot of stuff that's been going on. My boy Adonis over in the D incorporated IRL, so Korn is officially a corporation, which to me says a lot about people in this community who've been riding them hard and breaking balls and saying ban this, ban that. Reality is this. He's done something now that not many teams can say they've done. They're officially incorporated, which means they are a company and a full-fledged team. And in my opinion, that means they are actually esports. So I'm gonna pop Adonis in here in about a minute. My girl Tricky down in Florida is gonna be popping on, and my boy Godzilla, who's in the chat right now, is gonna pop on and talk about the arcade that opened up down in Texas. Let people know how it turned out and what kind of turnout it actually had. So first, let me grab Mr. Adonis, get him in here. Okay. And then let's add Tricky in here, because Tricky's going to be part of the show all day today. So let's get Tricky going here. Man, I hate this fucking thing. I'm losing my mind today. And Tricky. And let's add Godzilla too while we're at it. And hopefully people answer.
Hi.
Okay, we got 2. Okay, let's see. Godzilla, you gonna answer? All right, perfect. I'm waiting for Adonis. Godzilla, you're feeding back a little bit.
Oh, I am? All right.
Just a little bit. Yes, Korn, guys, for you who don't know it, Korn is officially an esports team. Period. Anybody that tries to discredit them discredits anybody that thinks they're an esports team, because they are a company and they are competing competitively in competitive fighting games, and I'm sure to see others after. I don't know, Korn's not picking up right now, so let me end the call with him and tell him to call me back. Okay, as far as me and being sick, it is what it is.
It's a T-virus.
It's a T-virus, or whatever it is. But it kind of, I'm going to hit on it a little bit. I mean, nothing's in stone, but I got to go for tests. But apparently I'm low on vitamin D, so they gave me 50,000 milligrams of vitamin D yesterday, so that should be...
Oh, you need to speak to CD Jr. about that. Get your vitamin D.
Yeah, I know that. It's because I'm too white. I need to get sun. That's what it is. I need sun. So, Tricky, how are you?
I'm good.
You're
How are
good?
yourself?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing well. I went back to smoking yesterday, by the way. So, yeah, I figured, enjoy it while I can.
I think you're doing an e-cig.
I was, but I decided to smoke starting yesterday. I'm
Right.
going to still do the vapor, but just for the next couple of days, I figured, fuck it, I'll smoke. And Godzilla, how are you? That's good. Nice.
Let me see here.
There you go.
Still making noise or anything?
No, you're all right now.
All right, sweet.
So, all right, let's rewind. Let's start with Godzilla. So you went there. You're in Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you went to the arcade. And how was the experience? This is what's the name of it?
Ultra Arcade,
And it's in.
San Antonio, Texas.
And was it a good turnout?
It was crazy. Like, I'd never seen anything like it. It was really cool, honestly.
And they would do. I mean, a lot of people came down, or
Yeah. All right. The tournament had started at 7. We got there at 6:30, and I want to say there were probably 300 people, 400 people in the parking lot.
damn.
And so we went to sign up, or first we went to park. There was no parking, and that goes into another story. It was crazy though, but we had parked in an area where we couldn't park. We found the owner, and we were just talking to him, and he goes, "Yeah, if y'all are parked, they're gonna start moving cars." So I took off, and I went. I think it was 4 houses down, and I knocked at someone's house and asked if I could park in their driveway, and the lady was like, "Sure, go ahead." And I was like, "Sweet." So I was all right, and then we were gonna try and get in, but then there was still like 300, 400 people outside, and then they said it was full for all the tournaments. So yeah, but
So,
it was crazy.
For
Like
an arcade, they had 300-400 people come down to this.
yeah, it was crazy. And so what we had decided, because it was me, Buddy, Rudy, my brother, and then my friend AL, she was with us. And we had all decided, well, we'll just come back on Sunday. So then we went back on Sunday, and so we got to play in there, and it's $3 an hour, $5 for all day. So I just paid for us all day, and there was boxes of pizza there. Whoever wanted pizza, someone brought it, I guess. They have where you can hang out in there for free,
Okay.
and you can use the Wi-Fi. They have tables set up. There were guys, girls, kids playing card games. Sorry about if there's noise. My puppy's
No, that's fine. It's fine.
his pillow. But what do you call it? All right, so we went in there. There's probably 10 or 12 arcade-style setups, all on new HD TVs. They have 5 Xbox Ones there. They had the PS3. They had a Smash Brothers setup. See, my friend AL, she likes to play Smash, so we're playing that. And some other people joined us, and we're playing teams. Blaze Blue, and she likes the anime games. I guess whatever you want to call it, Wave Dasher games. So we're playing that, and that's a lot of fun. I'd never play. I mean, I played Vampire Saviors or Darkstalkers, but so I played that. I want to get a PS3 now and play it. The Blaze Blue, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the anime games are actually really fun. I mean, a lot of people don't give them shots, which is kind of sad because I think engine-wise, while they're more loose, as far as the play, kind of I'll say kind of Marvel-esque. I think it's a little bit more of a toned down version than Marvel. So, it's not a matter of just getting hit once and watching yourself die, and they try to put good balance to it. And it's got a good story mode if you understand, the whole anime thing. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. With Marvel, I own the majority of the fighting games you can get on the 360. See, I have a lot of little cousins that live with me, so I just hook up the arcade sticks and they time just because it's superheroes. They don't care. They have a blast with that. We went and played KI, and that game was amazing. I remember I was like, man, I don't want to go buy an Xbox One just for one game, but it's sick. Like they have all the controllers you need there. They have all the characters, all the DLC, whatever you need. So it was crazy. Me and AL were my cousin. He was there with us, and he was playing. They had Soul Calibur. They had Titanfall. They had the Titanfall beta there.
Oh,
that
shit.
game's amazing. I hadn't had so much fun playing a gun game since Call of Duty 4, and then it's got robots, so it was sick.
I agree.
Yeah, the robot thing. The robot thing definitely seems interesting.
Yeah, and then what
It's
else?
just fun. It's very fast and fun.
Yeah. Oh, they had Madden. So there was a little kid there. He was playing Madden, and then they switched that out, and he was playing another game. I don't know what it was. And then what was really cool was everyone was getting along. They have like leather couches there where you can just hang out and rest, whatever. You could sit and watch other people play. Some guy hooked up a PC to one of the monitors. Oh, come here. And my dog wants to come on my lap. What do you call it? We were playing, or I wanted to play Street Fighter. That's really what I play, is Street Fighter 4. And I was playing one guy. I asked, hey, can I jump in after one of y'all? And then they were like, yeah, let us just run a last set. So they did their 2 out of 3. I played the winner, and I was trying to learn Makoto and Yun, and I got blown up. The guy was using Ken, the Guile, and I finally won. I think we had played, it was 12 matches, and I won, and he won 9 or 8 of them, and then I took 2 or 3, but yeah, it was really cool. And then after I was done, the guy got up, and then some other guy whooped me a few more times, and then it's really cool. So everyone's real down to earth, relaxed, talkative. The owner was showing everyone around, guys, girls, kids, whatever. And then finally, they actually have a clean restroom. So my cousin had to go to the bathroom. He went in there, and he's like, "Oh, it's clean in here, and they have soap and whatever." And
Not like an FGC event.
my little cousin is a 7th grader, and he likes playing like Metal Gear Solid. He likes playing strategy games, RTSs and stuff like that. So he liked it a lot also. It was really cool. I'd never seen people playing Smash Brothers, and then after Smash Brothers going and playing Blaze Blue, and then so it was great.
Now, what kind of hours did they have?
I think the hours for Friday and Saturday from 10 o'clock to like 2 in the morning, and then on Sunday I think they also closed at 2. I'm not exactly sure. It's my friend AL. I have to get her home by 10 o'clock. And so usually we'll take off at 9, get her home so her dad's not waiting there to beat me up or anything. So, yeah. But what else? Oh, that's the other thing. On Saturdays, where I think ladies are free to go in. So that's pretty cool. So, ladies, come on down. Y'all want to check it out. Everyone's welcome. The only thing I would say when going there is bring a jacket, because it was like a freezer. It was cold. Like, I had goosebumps. My cousin, my friend, she had goosebumps. We brought jackets, but I guess it's freezing in there, and it's not sweaty and smells bad, and so yeah.
That's a good
pretty
thing.
Great.
That's actually a good thing, so people don't stink like ass. So yeah. It's, again, not like an FGC event. People ain't sweating and stinking all over each other.
Yeah, see, I've gone to the card shops. I used to play cards, and my sister would want to play Pokemon, and we'd take her to the card store, and she would refuse. Because it smelled horrible, so she actually wants to go and check it out. If they play Mario Party or Call of Duty, that's what she likes. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad it actually turned out, and it had a good opening. I'm glad to see people came out in droves to the place. I mean, I wish him great success. I definitely, I know Daniel and his partners are. Pretty high strung on trying to get this thing to take off, and it sounds like they had a great start. So hopefully it will continue. I do plan on making a trip out there, probably when it gets warmer. It makes no sense. You would think I'd go now while it's freezing in New York, but nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely going to plan on checking the place out. It definitely sounds like it's really an interesting place, and it has the potential to. If they start streaming and, getting stuff up and running, but to become another, like Super Arcade. And, hopefully it'll continue to grow the Texas scene as well.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I know the only time I've ever been to tournaments was for Vanilla Street Fighter. It was a gaming cafe called Wtih, and I remember going in there with an arcade stick. I was just a kid who would... I grew up playing Alpha, too, and Pocket Fighters on the PlayStation, so... I remember going in and everyone was like, "Oh, who do you play? I'm like, "I play Sagat." They're like, "Oh, he's broken," and all. I had no clue about tier lists. I had no clue about nothing. I was just a kid in freshman year that showed up there with an arcade stick, and so I'm really happy to start playing in tournaments, and I'm more than happy to drop money and have fun. So.
That's really. I know a lot of people are gung ho about if we're not esports, we're nothing. At the end, it's about having fun. The minute it doesn't become fun, it ain't worth doing.
Yeah.
So if you're going to these places like this and you're having fun doing it, I still have fun going to tournaments. When I don't have fun at tournaments, I make my point known of what I don't like about the tournaments. I bring it up with TOs. I've done it before. I've told, Big E, for example, when there was things in the tournament that I wasn't crazy about. And, he's considered the opinions. And if it's something that seems to be a majority thing, he pretty much usually adapts to it. Not just Big E. John and Joe Gallagher, John Gallagher and Long Island Joe.
Damn, they're married?
Yeah, hey, this is New York, But you know, they take in consideration, as does Shin Blanca. You know, even Alex Vi out in the West Coast. He may not be my bestest of buddies these days, but you know, I know he does consider things when the majority starts talking. So it's good to see, you know, the scene hanging on. As to be quite honest, the consoles are slowly taking a hit. You know, Xbox is a flop in my opinion.
All the stuff coming out's not too good about that. At least for people who are into the hard. Because I know they were saying the majority of games they're not even running at 1080p or something like that. But I think it's pretty interesting.
I mean, it goes deeper than that, where the shareholders that actually own Microsoft, they want it done because they're saying it's just not making a profit.
That's what I'm wondering from a business standpoint, what they're going to attempt to do to keep it going, because I don't think they're going to. That's what the shareholders want, but.
No, but that is a rumor.
Yeah.
No, it's more than a rumor. It was in the New York Times.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Bill Gates actually came back to Microsoft to try and install the amazing operating system of Windows 8.1, and it took him 2.5 hours before he gave up. And this is a guy that's supposed to be the deity of operating systems, and he couldn't even install it without it crashing. You know, and it's you know, between that, the Bing, and Surface, you know, the shareholders are just like, listen, you know, get this clown out of here and put somebody in here that knows what he's doing. You know, packaging, even coming down to the point, and again, I'm not saying PlayStation's any better, but at this point, they are outselling them.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, the sad thing is, I see companies folding, you know, development houses, which is a normal cycle within the gaming, you know, the game development realm. You know, when a new system comes out, a lot of the companies that have gotten by with putting out shit, i.e. Acclaim, THQ, you know, companies like that basically are going under because they can't keep up with the next-gen consoles. And now when you got, you know, next-gen consoles that aren't doing well, that's hurting the companies as well because you're not selling your product.
Yeah, that's like, I know, grown up playing Capcom games since I was a kid, and I remember when they were saying how Capcom was flopping. I was thinking, I mean, I don't have any experience within that field, but if Capcom were to go down, that would suck, just because they've been around for so long. You know, like it would have to hurt not just them, but just the industry in general. That's what I thought. But then again, I'm just a person who buys the games, so yeah.
Mr. Adonis, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
What's going on, sir?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm listening to y'all guys talk about my system, man.
Hey,
you know,
I gotta be real. I don't take either. I'm not an Xbox to Sony or Sony to Xbox. I look at it and I go, console sales lead to software sales.
Yeah.
You know, and if the console don't sell, that means the software is not going to sell. You know, and you know, in fact, you know what? Let me pop him in there. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, right now I'm playing the Wii, and after going to that tournament, I want to go and get an Xbox One now. It's just playing Killer Instinct on it. It was so much fun.
I mean, KI is a great game. From what I'm hearing about Titanfall, it's a great game, but you know, it's not enough. You know, and if you look at what's out there already, the sell through. If you look at the sell through compared to the systems. You know, and Winston was just messaging me saying that, you know, on the Xbox, the software is selling good, but the problem is when you're only selling to X amount of systems, whatever sales you get is going to reflect good. Where 5 million units in 120 titles, now don't get me wrong, 120 titles, maybe 80 of them suck ass. But the point is, they're selling that much more because that much more systems have sold.
Well, actually, with the Xbox right now, the attach rate is higher. So that's actually a good thing no matter how many systems are selling. That's basically saying that when somebody goes to the store and buy a PS4, they're leaving out of the store with like on the average like 1 point something games. Whereas with the Xbox One, they're leaving out of the store with like 2 point something games. All the third-party titles that are out on all the systems, as far as next gen is concerned, are selling better on the Xbox One, such as Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts. Those games actually move more units on the Xbox One, even though more PS4s have been sold.
Well, I mean, I look at it and I go with what the shareholders are crying about. I just saw an article that was basically jabbing at them about the Kinect and say, stop calling it a part of the system. It's a peripheral. You forced people to buy a peripheral.
Yeah, I remember reading they were saying, speaking of the Kinect, they wanted to have where the developers, they can even take I believe there's power in the Kinect, and that's what they want to use it towards the games themselves.
Well, Microsoft has already said that they're doing that. They've realized that there's some part of like the video processing or something with the Kinect that is not even being used while you're playing, and so they're freeing that up for the developers themselves.
Yeah.
And I think as far as that whole thing about the call it peripheral, that could be some investors' frustration with the price point and saying that only reason why Sony is outselling right now is because their price. If you took away the Kinect,
you're knocking $100 off.
Right, we can sell it cheaper and beat them. But I mean, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just one of those things where if they have to make that decision.
But the PlayStation is missing this little camera tool as well, though. I mean, once you add that on its floor price, I mean, it's about the same as the Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, if you add in the Sony that PlayStation Move crap in the camera, you're going to be at the same price, if not more.
Well, and you're not even considering a lot of people forget that when Sony had their big press conference and announced the system, they showed the camera. They talked about how the camera sees the controller and all that, and they talked about the being able to play PS3, PS2 games. But that's going to be a service that you're going to pay additional. Yeah. That's going to be an additional fee on top of the PlayStation Network fee. A lot of people are not realizing that the features that Sony kind of initially sold the system on are additional costs.
Now, one of my concerns, and really one of my only concerns about this whole, unspoken Xbox, PlayStation war going on is I'm seeing a lot of tournaments trying to go Xbox. And, I'm starting to say, okay, the next gen of fighting games, I don't know where they're going to be. Or where they're, from what I'm hearing games are running better on the PlayStation 4.
What
yeah,
game? What you mean, like fighting games or just regular games?
Games in general. So now when it comes to fighting games, Nate, is you okay over there?
I'm fine. I'm listening.
Okay, because you got your snot bubbles.
I'm just listening. Go.
But overall, they're saying that graphically, they're saying the PlayStation 4 is a little bit better. They're saying the processor and the load time is a little bit better now, which is kind of weird because when it was three in regular Xbox 360, it was the other way around.
Well, I think you've seen a lot of the.
You've been reading a lot of Sony shit these days, dude.
Here's the thing about it. There's native resolutions versus what the systems are outputting. Both systems, I believe, are, no matter what the native resolution, are going to upconvert to 1080p. So it's like, whereas some games might be native 1080p on PS4, they might be native 900p on Xbox One, but the Xbox One is going to display it at 1080p. You have to have, great eyes to see the difference. But as far as performance-wise, one interesting thing was Call of Duty was one of those games where I think on an Xbox One it was 720p native and 1080p on PS4, but there was people complaining about frame rate issues on the PS4. So it depends on what people are talking about as far as performance. What you care about? Do you care about the game not like having that slowdown effect at times, or do you want it to have the highest resolution textures at all times?
Now I have a question. Now, does 1080p play without lag? When you play on 1080p, like does that? You know what I mean?
I've heard mixed. Depending on the game, depending on what's on screen. I've heard some games do lag. Hearing a lower textured game will obviously lag less, but now you also got to compensate for online.
Yeah,
You know?
because I've never played any games on 1080p ever because it historically lags.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have an Xbox One. I don't have a PS4. I said, fuck that. I'm not going to be the sucker that goes out and buys this shit first time and be the first guy to have it on the block anymore, because I just, the way they both released their systems, it reminded me and was very reminiscent of 3DO days and Atari Jaguar. And I said, where are all those systems now? They died out the gate.
Yep.
As far as fighting games, though, I think Xbox just has the early edge because of the fact that it has Killer Instinct, and that's where a lot of guys they've actually bought the system just for that game as the hardcore fighting game players. So
yeah, like Godzilla said, he said, I want to get the system now for the one game, but now let's throw another wrench into the equation. Double Helix is no longer Microsoft's boy; it's now Amazon's. Who knows what the future of it is?
Well, W Helix is still. I think Filthy Rich just tweeted out something that they still have stuff that they've been working on that they still are going to be putting out. I think the biggest question mark is for season 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the work for season 1, as far as like the next patch and Full Gore, Double Helix definitely did that and probably has it done, just waiting to release. But as far as season 2, we never had any information on it to begin with. But the Ken Lobb and stuff, he works for Microsoft, and he's basically the producer on their end that's overseeing the project. So I'm sure that he will make sure that it goes to capable hands. He's the one that pretty much highly signed off on Double Helix getting the project in the first place.
Yeah, but as you know, when you put shit in one person's hands and let them piss in the pot, and then say, all right, now you go piss in the pot, i.e. Mortal Kombat Complete. Shit has a tendency to get really fucked up, and that's what my biggest fear is that it doesn't actually get put into the right hands, or even if it does get put into the right hands, the way it's coded isn't going to be the same way the other guy that's now sitting on it codes it. And
I think as far as coding goes, they own that code. Every line of code Double Helix is going to send over to Microsoft and give them that. So it's not like the next team is going to come into it blind with them saying, hey, look at this, try to recreate, make more of this. No, they're going to get all that code. They're going to get every single line of code for that game from Double Helix. That's Microsoft's code. So that's not good. I mean, the biggest issue is the new team going to be talented enough? Do they know fighting games? Because obviously Microsoft doesn't have an internal fighting game studio, which is why they had to get Double Helix to work on the game in the first place.
They got Rare. Some of the guys in Rare are still the same guys from back in the days.
Yeah, but they haven't worked on the game for years, and they're working on something. They're working on their own big Microsoft Xbox One debut game. So.
Yeah, as far as Rare goes, I was actually just watching this lady that did a thing about Conker's Bad Fur Day, and they were talking about when they brought it back to the original Xbox, how their whole mindset has changed, and for Banjo-Kazooie, for example, there's it's a lady, she does documentaries about where she talks about the history of them. Banjo-Kazooie, when they made Nuts and Bolts, they knew what the fans wanted. Straight up, one of the main dudes that started Rare had said, we know the original fans aren't going to like this, but this is the way we're going. So, to me, I don't even know even if Rare, because they're still with Microsoft, they work on it, if it's still going to be the game that people would want it to be, or if they're going to keep it. But, as far as the systems go, though, I had a Wii U. I waited a year, and I sold it. I bought it. I said, I have little cousins that live here, 2 or 3. And I bought the Wii U, and I got Mario. I got the controller. Well, let's play it. And what they said was, we don't want to play that. We want to play Call of Duty. We want to play Battlefield. And then that's where I went and sold it. And, I got the money ready to go and get a new system, but it's kind of I don't even feel comfortable going and buying a PlayStation, an Xbox One, or building a PC. It's I'm just waiting to see what all happens, because I bought a Wii U thinking, I got people here. Because Miyamoto even came out and said they're not supporting online for the next 10 years.
Well,
you should have waited till Smash comes out.
Yeah, that's what.
That's the only game worth playing on that fucking system.
Yeah. Not really. Let me tell you something. The Mario is fun.
Yeah, well, the Mario game's always good. Mario Kart, the Metroid, Zeldas. those are pretty much their mainstay, like their main games. Other than that, they have nothing else good.
Yeah, if you buy a Nintendo system, you have to go into it with the mind state that I'm just going to play the first party Nintendo games, and this is the only way I can play them. Because as far as third party support, it's just like in online, it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, and that's what blew my mind. I was thinking, I had 3D World, I bought that. I had the Wind Waker and all those games, like the games, Pikmin 3, I had that. And my cousins, they're 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. And the two youngest ones, they didn't even like 3D World. They were like, we want to play Mario. And to me, I was thinking, if an elementary kid does not even want to play Mario nowadays, then Nintendo's doing something wrong.
Yeah, we're just really early into this new consoles, and you're already seeing some games that are not coming to the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, a year from now, when people are really digging into, the companies are really learning how to develop for these new systems, they're not going to want to go backwards and try to make the game for the Wii U. It's not going to work. The hardware is not powerful enough.
Yeah.
Now, I heard rumor that possibly Nintendo's going to merge with someone to do a system, their next gen system, which I heard that it might be Sega trying to crawl their way back into the consoles, which would actually be it would have good potential if done right. But the problem is Nintendo's always had that kiddie mindset, and Sega's kind of had that let it roll. I mean, I know they just lost Sega just lost the IP for Shenmue, which is everybody and their mother's been trying to beg for it to come out. They lost the US IP for it, so it ain't coming out in America no matter what.
Well, that game, as much as people loved it, it lost them so much money. It's because
at the time they developed it, they put so much into it compared to how they compare what made more money, Titanic or The Wizard of Oz. They were like the leader of dumping a shitload of money into a game that it didn't produce the results. While it was a great game, don't get me wrong, and I would love I'd love to see another one. I look at it and say I think they learn their lesson, and they probably would scale back a little bit before
is that guy that made it? He's gone from Sega, right?
Yeah.
He's gone. So,
Mr. Blacktastic, what's up, sir?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing good, man. What's going on with you, man?
I don't know. I just wanted to interject on that, or actually piggyback on the merger for Nintendo and Sega. I think that would actually be really good for business, and because even though they Nintendo, the Wii and the Wii U have barely gotten any third-party support, they still bring spectacular first-party titles. And even though Sega's been kind of off the grid basically a little bit lately, they can still bring some good first parties. They're bringing Bayonetta to the Wii U now, and I think it's going to be great to see actual Sonic games being made.
Yeah, Sonic.
Wouldn't Sega be salty for fucking trying to work with Nintendo since Nintendo's the one to put them out of business?
Not really, because
they worked with them exclusively actually on a lot of projects the last few years. I mean, they patched things up when they did that first Mario and Sonic at the Olympics a few years back, and the next Sonic game is coming out. It's going to be a big title for the Wii U and the 3DS.
Well, it's going to be a really big title. They actually have the developers from the old Crash Bandicoot, the old Naughty Dog team on it, so it's going to be a really good adventure type, really classic platformer game.
Okay.
I mean,
they're developing a TV show to follow up the game or whatever. It's they're doing a big, huge push for Sonic. So
let me change the topic for a minute. We can come back to this. I do want to hit up with Adonis. So I seen a tweet today. Can you explain to me what that tweet was about for all those out there who don't know?
Well, basically, we've been pretty much this whole winter, ever since probably the last time on Blast Show. What was that, December, January, something like that? We like I told everybody, we was going on vacation or whatever. We was chilling in the winter, and we started working on things as far as internally. You know what I mean? So we got together, we had a meeting or whatever, We basically said, we wasn't going to hit any more tournaments this winter. And we were just going to, get our stuff, as far as structure and shit like that, squared away or whatever. So, a lot of this has actually been in the plans for like a couple of years, but we're always busy, so it's kind of hard to get things moving, the way you want to when you actually have to go to work and shit. But it's so many of us, and we got a good team of people. So we went ahead and we actually put in our LLC paperwork. I think it was last month. And everything came in the mail. I got all my certificates, and everything else. So what does that mean? As far as like a business standpoint, whatever I want to do, whatever we want to do, as far as investing, money here, or really, the sky's the limit for us as far as the team now. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, basically, you're a company, and that technically, in my eyes, would make you an esports team, kind of. If you decided to put an esports team together, and it would be based off of an actual LLC company, which would actually give more meaning to it as compared to just, some guy on the street saying, let's put 6 guys together on a team and, travel around, and it's just 6 guys. So you're a corporation, which you'll be taking in profit and loss.
Right. Yeah, definitely. If, depending on the way we report it and all of that, but yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's what we were doing. We just had our gang of guys, and we were doing our thing or whatever. But like I said, this has been, in the planning, for a couple of years now. I don't do anything without some type of purpose behind it. You know what I mean? So, like right now, like Corn HQ, for example, or the place where we play. Now, right now, it's just we make those at All Caps House. The way the real estate market is in Detroit, and I already explained it to you, James. The way the real estate market is in Detroit, for example. With all the after 2009 and the economy went to shit. There's a lot of houses on the market, for example. If I want to buy a house, for example, and I want us to play in it, if I want that to be our game house, I can spend $5,000-$10,000 and we got a house, and it doesn't have to be in my name now. It can be, in IRL LLC. Everything is in the business name. You know what I mean? So without me having to put it in my name and me having to go through the trouble of, getting the titles in my name and the taxes in my name, everything can be in the company name. Any cars, anything. You know what I mean? So like I said, it opens up a whole new avenue. Bank account, credit cards. You know what I mean? Travel. I don't want to give somebody my debit card. Just for a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
Here's the company card. Take it. So, like I said, this has all been in the plans. We've been talking shit. Like we always do, but a lot of people don't really know what goes on in my mind, like as far as like what I'm doing. I get a lot of shit. Oh, real niggas, this and that, and you can't do that, you can't do this. But I tell you what, people say shit like that, but they don't really know how I think. You know what I mean? They don't know me per se. So, but so yeah, that's what's going on in the future.
So Detroit's got an arc coming in the future.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It put like this. What was the arc? That was an apartment. What was that? That was an apartment.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about a house. I'm talking about a house. See, this is 2 different levels.
So like where F-Champ chills. F-Champ got a house.
Yeah. More like a house, but my name, our actual company name is gonna be on the title. I don't know, what they do or who owns that house or if they pay rent or whatever. But this is gonna be a house that, the company actually owns. You know what I mean? So we don't have to pay no rent. You know, we just pay the taxes to whoever, and that's it.
So, I mean, you can literally buy a house in Detroit by just paying the back taxes now?
Yeah.
Fucking hey, I gotta move to Detroit. I just gotta buy a block.
Yeah. Yeah, they got this, man. Look, man, it's so many houses and stuff that people aren't doing stuff with, and you know that was after 2009 when the economy went to shit, and a lot of people just left. You know, they just got up and left. So there are houses here on the market, and I mean, you know, they may be $5,000 or $10,000 in back taxes. You know, some are less. Hey, you go down to the city, you know. Give them the address, and they'll cut a deal with you.
Shit, man, I might buy a house out there just for shits and giggles.
How much does a house cost out there?
Pay the taxes.
Right.
Pay the back taxes.
It depends, man. If you're in the city, it's cheaper. If you go to the burbs, it's just like any other suburb. You know, I mean, it's still houses in the suburbs that are, you know, $500,000. You know, however much, but. You know, depending on where you go in the city, you know, you can find some for 4 digits. You can find some for 10 or 20,000. You know, my house when I bought my house before the real estate game and the economy went to shit. But I paid $125 for my house.
Damn.
And then in the meantime, you know, after the economy went to shit, you know, the houses went down in my area. They went down dramatically. So whereas my house was worth $125, you know, it wasn't worth no more than about 30. You know, 2 or 3 years later.
Damn.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But I didn't lose out on that. I own my house. You know, I don't pay any mortgage on my house. I actually cashed my house out.
Well,
So,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, for people who don't know, you know, I don't pay any mortgage or anything. I just pay taxes on my house.
How much are the taxes out there?
I got raped on taxes. But
well, wait. Before you say that, what's raped on taxes? Because I'll tell you taxes out here.
well, let's see. When I bought my house, my taxes were cheap. They were like $1,600 like a year.
Whew, that's nice.
That's when I first bought it, and then once I got my tax statement in the mail the next year, it went up to like $6,000 a year.
Out here, add another zero to that 1,600.
16,000.
16 grand.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of fucking money. Now you know why I'm living in a fucking basement in my little dungeon here.
Yeah, we don't get raped like that. I mean, they have their houses that they're like in the 5-digit range, but those are usually like mansions and shit like that.
Hey, Adonis, can I ask you a question?
Sure, man.
Backtracking to like the LLC that you guys got going on. So what's gonna happen to like the corn brand? I mean, you guys already got shirts. You guys are already established in the community now. But like, what's gonna happen to that?
It's not going nowhere, man. You know, because I feel that IRL, we like I'm not gonna say I want to. If I'm
your sound's breaking up, Adonis.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like just even if it's FGC related or if it's non-FGC related or whatever, like I want that to be, you know, like pretty much like clean. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I don't want no bullshit. I don't want no Kakutu, whatever the fuck that website called, or Reddit. I don't want to be involved in that shit. So, in that aspect, corn not going anywhere. You know, you still gonna see all caps. You know, screaming get fucked. You know, he's still gonna. You know, he may do it in a corn shirt. You know, he may not do it with an IRL shirt on. He may do it in a corn shirt. You know, so in that aspect, corn's not going nowhere. You know, that's why I made a new Twitter account.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's gonna be like 2 in 1. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know if we're gonna use the corn tag anymore, but we're still gonna do the shirts.
Hells yeah. There ain't no reason to change that.
Yeah, ain't no reason to change that.
So when you guys reach out to potential sponsors, you will be reaching out as IRL LLC?
Definitely. That's
What does IRL stand for?
just what it stands for in real life. LLC.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. But that's if we want sponsors, man. You know, it's all about generating money, man. I'm not. You know, my mind state hasn't changed. I mean, it's all about generating money. It's not about asking people for money. You know, it's about investing, investing in yourselves, and you know, trying to pull money in instead of, you know, sitting there waiting for somebody to give you some money.
I see. Now, speaking of investing, let's talk about the players. Since this is going to be like sort of an esports centric team, what other players are you looking forward to, like, for other genres? I mean, like, we have this really big first person shooter called Titanfall coming out in like probably like the next month. You know, all these other you know, like online MOBAs, all these shooting games. Like, what are you gonna be looking for when it comes to adding people to your roster?
That's a good question. To be honest, to be frank, I really don't think there's money in, like, I think the only place there's money in, as far as like trying to survive like as a team, is probably the LOLs and the you know the
the little MOBA fighters,
the little MOBA
Dota.
games. Yeah, and I guess that's if you win. I guess you can make a large amount of money. When I say investments, though, I mean like different type of things. Like let's say I don't know. Let's say like let's say we do the home thing, for example. Let's say we get the house, you know, whatever, and let's say, you know, because we're about 30 of us now. You know, we got people that can do construction, you know, wiring, electric, plumbing. You know, these are just people on a team. You know, we're multi-talented. You know, we could buy our first house, do a good job, and we say, you know what, let's do this real estate thing. And that might be one of the avenues that we choose, you know, just to get our funding. You know what I mean? So when I say investing, that doesn't necessarily mean, it may not be FGC. You know what I mean? It can be anything. So I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings, like when it comes to like competitive gaming and pulling in money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you can sell something and make money. I feel like you can provide a service and make money, but like I don't feel like you can make winnings and consistently pull in enough money to, you know what I mean, to be comfortable.
Right.
Well, I mean, it seems like you got something that not many other teams out there have. You know, a lot of these teams are dependent on a corporation that's not related. Hold on a second, I'm getting a message.
Right.
You see teams like EG, which is a good team of guys that are put together, but it's a manufactured team. As compared to you, who actually are close with all the players, you talk to all the players, you know all the players. It's more of a family. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, Ricky, PR, Flo, and, you know, and Justin are not family to themselves,
right,
but it stops with them.
Right.
You know, where, you know, there's a tighter bond between IRL as compared to just a team that's put together.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to Blood Red about that earlier. Me and him were talking on Facebook, inboxing, and you know, we were talking about Horn and EMP, and you know, we were just giving each other history lessons, and you know, just listening to each other talking and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, you know, we're the same way as far as like a family. The difference is we don't allow people that's not family to come in and fuck shit up. You know what I mean? So you know, for example, some top player from wherever in the country, they're non-sponsored or whatever, and they may say, hey man, hey, how do I get in corn and blah 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 blah. Now, I can send them to a tournament. I can pre-register them and give them fucking bus fare and see about getting them roomed and have them use my tag and they can fuck around and win or whatever. That's easy for me to. That's easy to do. And corn finally won. Yeah, but I mean, dude not really part of our clique anyway though. He's not where we're from. He's not really a part of our family. And if somebody comes along and offers him something better, then he's gonna leave.
Exactly.
So that I don't really get any benefit from that. So that's what I was telling him. Like, that's one thing we don't do. We don't just allow any random fuck who wants to be down, to give him a tag and give him some money and send him to a tournament, just because, that's a so-called accomplishment for us. I don't see that as an accomplishment. I see an accomplishment as far as like the team goes and the members go. I like watching people grow. I like watching people be mashers, you know what I mean? And then, from them being around us and, us teaching them games and, just teaching them just shit on how to be a man or how to be a grown woman or whatever, if they're a girl or a guy. And then just progress to the point where, they're winning in games or, they graduate, got a good job. I find great pleasure in that. You know what I mean? So you're not gonna find me just recruiting random dudes from Alaska, or I don't know, Wyoming or some shit like that. You're not gonna see just random dudes in corn, from Wyoming or whatever. I don't care how good they are in the game. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to the family aspect, I mean that's what it's all about. Guys from our arcade, like Video, for example, like I'm 31 now. I met Video when I was 14. You know what I mean? That's how long me and him have known each other. So I met him when I was, like 1996, 1997. Video has literally watched me grow up. He's about to turn 40 this year. And he's watched me go from, a 5'6" little kid, braces and shit, to a grown ass man, and he don't talk about it, but I know it kind of bring a single little tear to his eye and shit, seeing us go out and do our thing and shit. The kids on the team in corn now are young enough to be his sons and daughters.
Damn.
Imagine that.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, like imagine they're 18 and he's 39. That's 20 years. So that's what it's all about to me. It's a family thing, man. Me and Juan Video. I mean that's like my big brother, uncle, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if he needed anything, from a boost, if he needed me to put a hit out on somebody, whatever, I got him, and that's how it is, for anybody that's with us, whether you corn or you just part of the Detroit fighting game community, period.
Now, I don't want to bring up wounds and old stories, but, obviously, over the last couple of weeks that have passed, there's been a little bit of drama from the left and the right on you on Facebook, whether it be from women or the asking of you to be banned from corn as a whole, to be banned from a tournament.
Damn, I got that serious?
Yeah.
Have you not seen the Reddit thread?
Oh no, I saw that, but I didn't know about the ban part.
Yeah. As far as the women, man, I mean, anybody that knows me know I support women gamers. You know what I mean? Lana Katana, you know what I mean? She's with us. She's 20 years old now. I found her at a Yumacon or some shit randomly like 2 or 3 years ago. She was 17. I saw her beating everybody ass attacking. I was like, I want her on the team. I told her that day, and eventually it happened. So I'm all about female players in the scene, getting good and being good at games or whatever. I just don't like the ones that just, they do the shit for the attention or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, it's good, it's cute or whatever. But don't act like I don't know. I just have a problem with the ones who they don't play seriously. And really, no. You know what? I don't even have a problem with the ones that don't play seriously. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of fighting games and not playing seriously. But the shit that I saw on Facebook today, it was basically like some bullshit little gossip group or whatever. And you got girls who don't play for real, and they're intermingling with the girls that do play for real.
Yeah.
Now the girls that do play for real, like a lot of a few of the Tekken girls, for example, they don't care about playing with males. The main gripe was, the guys in the community, they're so thirsty and they're always coming on to us, all this bullshit. I mean, the thing about it is, if you're in the fighting game community and you're a female, you're going to have to learn to deal with dudes, period. It's like 99% men. I mean, if you like fighting games and you're a girl and you expect not to get hit on or whatever, I mean, you have to learn how to deal with it. So my thing is, don't try to like make this single female bullshit community and say that we're in there trying to level up in games. I mean, how could you be trying to level up in games where there's rarely any top women players? I mean, for real. I mean, this is just being serious. Like, there aren't many top female players. So if you're going to be in this community, stop lying. You're not. I mean, okay, you probably are talking about games, but for the most part, a lot of them aren't really gamers. They're just chicks with controllers who take pictures, and they play online, and they hit a couple of buttons, but they're not serious competitors. So don't try to what's the word? Seal them off and try to put them in this women's group. When if a girl wants to learn how to play a game, she's going to have to talk to some dude at some point.
And learn. I mean, look, I agree with you on that aspect. Where how many times do you see this drop dead gorgeous girl that is straight up model quality with a PlayStation or an Xbox controller in her hand, and you gotta look at it and go, look, I've been playing games since 1974. These girls didn't spawn out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're manufactured to attract people, whether it's to buy a controller or, they're not gamers. They're models that they just slap a controller in their hand. And that does give a bad rep to the girls that do play competitively.
And you know what's funny about that, James? Because I thought that's what Kayane was.
So did I in the beginning. I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I thought she was just some girl from France that some controller company's like, yo, let's just pretend this girl, and the girl knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I played her at MLG in Soul Calibur 5, Columbus, 2012, and she beat the fuck out of me, James. And when I say she beat the fuck out of me, she beat the shit out of me. Like, it was really bad.
There was a video of a tournament in France where she was beating people with one hand.
Yeah, it was one where she wasn't looking.
Yeah, when she wasn't looking. Yeah, I was like, come on now.
Yeah, she's actually pretty ridiculous in that Soul Calibur game. Mm-hmm. Like, she knew all the frame data, she knew all the punishments, everything. You know what I mean? She was ridiculous in that game. So yeah, I mean, it's people like her. I mean, extremely beautiful women who can actually play and are actual competitive players. I mean, it's pretty rare. But for example, Kayane, she doesn't have a problem getting along with dudes.
No,
I mean,
the tomboy mentality. She got a tomboy mentality. She plays games well, and she's a good seller. Again, Albino Giganosis said it in the Ustream chat. Sex sells.
Yeah. I mean, and as of recently, she just got sponsored with Red Bull, actually.
Yep.
You know, which is probably the biggest sponsorship ever for any really FGC player ever. Like that's that's a non FGC company. Like they have nothing to do with fighting games. You know, that's an energy drink.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good to see, you know, an energy drink company get involved with this and look to grab players and, you know, try to sell. I mean, let's be real. Red Bull's got their own wings. They can sell their product on their own. They don't need gamers because gamers are still going to buy it, whether Kayani's on on their team or not. But it's showing that there are companies out there that have an interest in this scene, the fighting game scene, that will put money in if it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, honestly, if I saw her anywhere with a Red Bull, you know, can in her hand, I would buy it even if I didn't know she played games. I mean,
she could be holding a can of bleach in her hand, and I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I'll drink it for you. All right, why not? It's gonna make you some money. All right, I'll drink it.
Right. So, yeah.
You
But that was my whole gripe that day on Facebook. I didn't know that status. You know, I made that status. I was at work, you know, punching in stuff in the database. You know, I was just on my phone and just typed a little status about the little women's FGC group. I didn't know it was going to turn into like almost a 700 comment status.
Ooh, that thing was huge.
You know, it was almost 700 comments. You know, I didn't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Man, I didn't know it was going to turn into a shitstorm like that.
You set fires everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of people got injured in the process. I'm not here to apologize at all. I'd never apologize to anybody, not even my wife. I'm just here to say, you know, if you don't want nothing to be said, then don't throw yourself in the middle of it. You know, that's all I can say regarding to that. Because I did get tagged in some statuses. I did get told to eat dicks by a certain somebody. You know, and then I did say a certain line on the stream, which I did put on YouTube myself for those who didn't catch the live stream.
Yeah, I caught that.
You know? So you know, don't put yourself in the line of fire. You know, because honestly, to that person, I wasn't really speaking on her. I was speaking on, you know, other women or girls in the FGC. But if she wants to put herself in the line of fire, then fuck it. You know, I can't believe she was telling me to eat dicks and stuff, man. I'm like, man, because I'm usually a pretty upfront person, and you know, I really don't hold any punches. But I held it back. I said, okay. She said, I'm telling me to eat a dick and all this stuff. I said, okay, that's cool. Okay.
I mean, you know, again, another problem with this scene is everybody likes to blanket everything.
Yeah.
You know, you say, you know, if I say, oh my God, and I got Tricky right here, I like female tits. Uh-oh, does that make me a male chauvinist now because I said that?
No.
Exactly, but you know, somebody else will go, "Oh, well, how can he say that?" Or like I've said in previous weeks about people complaining about ESGN, you know, having women in schoolgirl outfits parading the guys in and out and spinning a wheel, saying how chauvinistic that is, and I'm going, well, wait a second. They got jobs. They applied for those jobs. It isn't like they turned around and they said, you know what, you're going to be working at a front desk, you know, answering phones, and then all of a sudden they go in to answer the phones and they're like, ha ha ha, put this school dress on. This is your real job.
I mean, how come none of those activists, you know, I mean, there's plenty of girls on TV who do the same thing. Like Vanna White, for example, she's been turning those letters for a long time. Who else? They got little chicks, little beautiful girls on The Price is Right. You know, I mean, no feminists or nobody said anything about them back in the day.
You know, I'm actually waiting, and I'm going to put this out there. I'm waiting to get a message back from little Lupe for all y'all out there that know who she is. I want to hear them come out and say, well, you make pornos and that's bad for you guys, or is it, well, it's your choice, you're a woman. You know, which way do you go with it? Is she not allowed to do it, or is she allowed to do it? Is she hurting the women's movement? You know, she's doing what she wants to do. She enjoys doing. It ain't like she's, you know, being doped up and tied to a chair and made to do what she's doing. You know, and the fact of the matter is, I'm all for women. You know, the feminist movement, as Mr. Apparatus always says. I don't care. You could piss standing up right next to me. It's no big deal. But you know, you also got to draw a line of where it's got to get kind of like just turned off a little bit, in the sense of not turning it off for the women's movement, but not everybody's into it, even if they're a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and the reason, and that was one of the reasons I made that stat, because, you know, from what I was told by some women, you know, that were in the group, that they weren't talking about shit in there. You know, it was bullshit.
They did make that fake group though, and that shit was off the hook.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
They had me dying. I mean, they literally made that like 900 article deep. They all liked articles. They all followed them, and it was like, you know, oh my God, who's got the biggest penis in the FGC? And I mean,
that was funny as fuck.
It was funny as hell.
Yeah, that was funny. I knew it was fake. They tried to say I didn't know it was fake, but I knew it was fake because I had the original URL. So I already knew it wasn't the right one. I knew that because the original group they had like 110 members, and then when they made that new group, they actually added me to the group, and they had like 30 members. I'm like, I know they didn't all just leave, so I knew it was a different group, but I let them have a little fun. And then you know, the funniest thing is because they were saying in the real group, they were saying a lot of things about us. You know, they was talking about corn and blah, 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 blah. Now, I read a lot of that stuff, and they wanted to know how I read it. You know, they were, you know, I tagged a couple of girls, and I was telling them quote for quote what they said. Now, they had this group closed, and, you know, they were wondering, you know, how I knew what they were saying. I mean, like I tell people, I have eyes and ears everywhere, man. So, you know, you might want to watch that, you know, because I had to air one of those little girls out on stream, unfortunately, you know, because she was saying some bullshit about Alucard, about him and him not some stupid shit, why she doesn't show up to tournaments locally and some bullshit like that. And I'll let her have it on stream. I'm not gonna repeat what I said on Blast Show.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, it got out of hand, but I'm gonna, you know, it wasn't you that went nuts.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't seem to see that. And I'm like, you know, it's the reaction. It was equivalent, you know, to, you know, when I had gotten with the Homeboy Tyson stuff. I'm like, I didn't make it. I played it. Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I played it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I didn't make it, so you can't turn around and expect me to say, you know, I laughed. I'm sorry, I laughed.
And it's funny because, like I said, I was at work when I made that status, and I'm pretty busy at work, so I can't, and we have Facebook banned on our network, so I can't check it, you know, from a PC. I have to look at it through my phone, and I have so much work to do, I can't really check my phone all the time. So I didn't even read, you know, nowhere near 700 of those comments. You know, I may have read a good 100, you know. So people were like, yeah, didn't you see the one guy, Ricardo? He was saying all this crazy shit. I'm like, well, I didn't really read that. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, you know, when I get home, I'm not really on Facebook that much. So, I mean, I don't know. It was wild. Now, the other thing that pissed the women off was when we were on stream rating the women of the FGC. That had some negative responses.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know,
you know me, James. Like, you know me, James. I don't give a fuck about any of that. for the record. I mean, we said we were going to do it last year. Anyway, we said we were going to make a
I know. I remember.
yeah. We never got around to it. But you know what it is? Honestly, what I think it is, I honestly think if we just would have went into the whole thing and said every girl in the FGC is butt fucking ugly, then they would have just been like, oh, these guys are crazy. They think all these girls are ugly. Ha 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 ha. But since we said, oh no, this girl is bad as fuck, and that girl is bad as fuck too, and man, that girl got a nice ass, but this girl right here, no, she's a 3. What happened is the ones that got low ratings, I guess they felt that they were singled out, or they felt that, some girls didn't deserve that rating, or they felt like we were biased or some shit like that. That's what happened. That's why people started getting mad or whatever.
I mean, look, let's be real. When Inquirer magazine puts out the top 50 prettiest people, do you think the person that got 49 isn't like, yo, fuck that, I'm better looking than number 2? They're going to do the same thing. It's going to happen.
Right.
Listing people like that, the fact that you came out with it public, reality is this: we all make lists in our own head.
Oh yeah.
You guys just took it from the head to the paper or to the internet.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I might make a list and start tagging people. I might tag people in there with their ratings. Now what's funny, because we didn't, and you could tell we didn't have any of this organized when we were doing the stream, because somebody said to do it in the chat, so I was just like, fuck it. Now, if we were strictly doing the show, just like on ratings, well, I would have had pictures and everything up for the chat. I'd have been like, you know what I mean? I'd have been like, hey, let's pull up her picture. I'd have, looked through all the pictures and the whole world would know what you look like. So it wasn't that bad because we were just saying names. You know what I mean? Like, some people didn't even know who the fuck those chicks were, and still don't.
No, and that's, you actually brought some notoriety to girls that people didn't know. Right,
exactly. Some dudes was like, man, I didn't even know who she was. I had to look her up. I'm like, man, god damn. So.
I mean, I want to see more girls come to this scene. Does something like that kind of steer them away? It's debatable. A girl that's coming here to play probably don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I mean, Tricky, do you care about a hottest girls list by a bunch of guys in the FGC, or you come to play games?
Play. You said come to play.
Exactly.
That's all I really do. I mean, people give me crap all the time, but that's all I really do. And, I mean, nowadays it's just like, I don't get why there's so much, what's the word? Upsetness. That's not even a word, but I don't understand why there's so much rage, I guess, about...
Maybe malicious?
Yeah. Like, can they just chill out and just keep doing what they're doing? And if they're being called out for being whatever they are, then you're being called out because you set yourself up to be called out.
It's sad because, again, we're trying to grow a community, and I understand we want to grow it on a strong foundation, but to start saying, well, corn is cancerous, so they got to be gone. JamessMK is cancerous, they got to be gone. Well, all you people are scrubs and you're not top players, so you should be gone. So you'll have an 8-man tournament for $8 because none of these motherfuckers got money anyway.
And this is the thing about this community, is that there are too many unsettling situations that are created just out of nowhere, out of spite, and out of just being